Hey everybody, this is Dr. Sadler with this week's question of the week. Okay, so this week's question is, a client has refused to eat more than a few spoonfuls of breakfast. The primary care provider has prescribed that tube feedings be initiated if the client fails to eat at least half of the meal because the client has lost a significant amount of weight during the previous 2 months. The nurse enters the room, looks at the tray, and states, "If you don't eat any more than that, I am going to have to put a tube down your throat and get a feeding in that way." The client begins crying and tries to eat more. Based on the nurse's action, the nurse has been accused of which violation? So here we have some different terms that you need to understand the difference between 1, assault, 2, battery, 3, slander, or 4, invasion of privacy. So number 1, a lot of times people mix up between assault and battery because a lot of times when you see a person being charged, you see the both together. But assault is the actual threat. So assault, I threaten to do something to you. Battery, I actually do it. So maybe assault, I threaten to punch you. Battery, I actually punch you. Slander is a defamation of character. It's a type of defamation of character. So when you're spreading rumors about someone and ruin their reputation. So you have two types, slander and libel. Slander is oral defamation of character. Libel is written. So maybe libel would be you post it on Facebook or something. Oral, you actually, slander, you actually say it orally. And invasion of privacy is just that. You're going into someone's private belongings without their consent or permission. So, and you're going into their personal belongings with a typical person would think would be private. And so you shouldn't be in someone's belongings and then you spread the information, what you learned about that individual. So the nurse in this scenario says, if you don't eat any more than that, I am going to have to put a tube down your throat and get a feeding in that way. That's a threat. So she hasn't actually done it. She's threatened to do it. So therefore, it would be an assault. Now, if she actually does it, then that would be battery. But because she has not done it, she's only threatened to do it. That is considered an assault. So your answer here would be assault. Okay, so as we said, the answer is assault, and here's our rationale. Assault occurs when a person puts another person in fear of harmful or offensive contact, and the victim fears and believes that harm will result from the threat. In this situation, the nurse could be accused of the tort of assault. Battery is the intentional touching of another's body without the person's consent. Slander is verbal communication that is false and harms the reputation of another. Invasion of privacy is committed when the nurse intrudes into the client's personal affairs or violates confidentiality. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me again for this week's question of the week. If you enjoyed this question and would like to see more like it or see more just videos on helping you to understand nursing content, then please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel at Creating Future Nurses. Thank you guys for joining. See you again next week.